What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cash, and today is my birthday. Hi. I'm gonna be doing an actual video later on in the day, probably later in the day or possibly even tomorrow after my birthday. But I wanted to start this brand new series, and I'm not gonna slack off just because of my birthday. I turned 30 today, and I still wanted to do this because now that I am turning older, I'm gonna do whatever I want, okay? This is one of the videos that I've always kind of wanted to do, is that when a new artifact comes out, a ton of characters that the artifact might apply to, I may have already done a guide for that character, and now technically that guide is now outdated. But if someone were to search up the actual artifact, it might not be too bad. They'll be at least like, oh, this character works with that, and then, you know, some type of synergistic thing. I'm not too sure, but I wanted to start doing this, of course, and I want to start banging out guides earlier. So yes, I will be doing a Seaside Bologna guide as quick as I can. Also, I'm going to be finishing up the side story as quick as I can. There is no stoppages on this train. I'm trying my best to make this something in the next coming months to be something that you guys can be proud of, to be a part of, and that is where all this energy to take my energy. I hope you guys are really in tune with it. I hope you guys are really onto it, because I really want to make this something, and the only way you make this something is if I invest into you guys. So there are people that are always going to ask the question, what do I use this artifact for? Is it even worth it? I got the character already. Should I keep summoning for the artifact? Stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go into the video. First, I think we have to do is talk about the artifact, and let's actually read it. So I think it's important to note what it is at level 1, as in you just got one copy like me, or when you actually max it out like whales, you know, whatever thing. So at level 1, when attacking, all enemies has a 50% chance to inflict additional damage. Additional damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's attack. And if you guys don't know, quick way to know every single artifact is that when it is at max level, it doubles. So that is a real quick way. Someone, I forgot who told me that. I think it was while I was streaming. I was like, oh, that's an easy way to remember it. So usually the percentage doubles or something like that. So as you can see on max, it is 100%, because 50 double is 100%. Even though it's just 50%, I still see that it triggers. It's going to trigger a decent amount of times anyway. Now the additional damage does hit on everybody, obviously, because it's about when they hit all people, and it scales off the attack. So this is not something that you're going to be wanting to put on a ranger that isn't stacked with the DPS, and it is a ranger exclusive artifact as well. So let's go through all the rangers that could possibly use this artifact. Duh, we're gonna have to bring up Seaside Bologna. I think it's pretty obvious. Passive actually is an AoE hit, as it says there. Attacks all enemies with a fan with a 50% chance to decrease defense. So she actually has a nice way of doing it. When her passive triggers, pretty much when she has 5 focus and someone gets attacked on the team, doesn't matter if it's herself or any of the allies, she will hit them with the AoE, and it will actually trigger the artifact. Same thing with the S3, it will trigger the artifact as well. So I think that these are characters that have really good synergize, because they at least have 2. I think that's pretty much what we're looking for. Rangers that have at least 2 AoEs or 1 reliable spammable AoE. Regular Bologna is pretty much built the same, just that her S2 is not going to be utilized that often, but her S3 obviously will. And as you guys know, the regular Bologna works in a little bit different way, is that when she has full focus, when the S1 is triggered, she will actually activate the S3 again. So that's another way. So there's a little bit different ways, but it's still pretty good on her, because both Bologna and Seaside Bologna are building some type of attack. Seaside Bologna more focused a little bit more on crit. You have to give her a little bit crit if you want her to do some more daddy damages on the S3. Regular Bologna still has this skill. It's pretty good, and she has 1, 2, and then essentially another AoE after that with a little bit of time baked in. But both of them are amazing with the artifact. Another reason why I want more copies of it, to get that 100% chance, because that would just be doing a lot of DPS. Celeste. Okay, I shouldn't laugh, but it is kind of interesting. I do have to note this, is just that she does have an AoE hit, and it does not go on cooldown as long as her HP is high enough. She also has her own heal. You know, caster recovers 30% health and is granted an extra turn and attack increase. Then you use this. Now the 50% chance to decrease the combat readiness is whatever, but if you wanted to actually build her, I know some people that actually have invested into Celeste, and I don't have her anymore because I always fought her because she's not as good, but she does have the speed imprint. I might want to look into her next time I get her, maybe actually start saving some copies, because this is not that bad. She will sit there, AoE everybody, possibly lower their combat readiness. Another person 6 stars Seaside Bologna, and then the S1 is whatever, you're probably never using it in your life. But I would have to say Celeste is not that bad of an option for the Rengar drink either. There is one who is obviously the best with it, and especially because her artifact is not in the game, which is I think the otherworldly whatever the heck, is gonna be Yuna. Everything Yuna does is her S1 she's spamming all day, and then her S3 she's also, you know, is an AoE hit. Also her S2 is an attack buff, which, you know, you use it real quick, in and out of the way, boosts her attack, makes her S1 do more damage, and then of course makes her S3 do more damage. But even more, of course on top of course, is the fact that with the increased attack, it's gonna make the artifact do a lot more damage when it triggers. Yuna's Rejoice. You know, like I think that she's kind of been screwed most of the time. I think when you see Yuna, she's using on Bloodstone, because, you know, she hits all the targets and then all that damage will be calculated and then given to the lowest health HP target. But I think at the end of the day, if you wanted to, you know, run her as a DPS, which she's kind of supposed to be, you know, the S1 will hit everybody. It does more damage when there's less targets. So even though I think, and this is something that I'll have to test myself, but for you guys, I'm going to test this out, and specifically for that, ooh, congrats. And specifically for that, I'm going to see if it attacks, says that it attacks all enemies, but there's only about one of them, does it still trigger the Rengar drink? That's kind of something that I don't know how it works, but that would kind of make it a little bit better, right? Because I mean, it should work, but I'm not 100% sure if it does.
Bye bye now.
That was interesting as well. Really good thing to note is that even if the attack misses, it can still trigger it. That's another good thing. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's actually really nice to know.
I thought this could be fun. Now I'm getting bored.
So there it is. If you guys saw that little hiccup there at the end, that's usually how the Uber's tooth works and things like that. Just wanted to double check. So if it is, as long as the skill hits AoE, or it says it's gonna hit AoE, it will actually trigger. Minor details to some, but sometimes artifacts don't work exactly the way that they say that they do, or they can work in cooler ways, like how someone had told me that the Holy Sacrifice, I remember I theorized that Holy Sacrifice keeps focuses for like Charlotte. So Charlotte with Holy Sacrifice is actually pretty godlike. So this one's pretty cool. So even when there's single target, the reason why I wanted to test that is because obviously you're gonna put her in like Wyvern, and you want to make sure that if you're using an artifact like that, that it's gonna work, that it's gonna work on Seaside Bologna. And if you wanted to also put one on Yuna, you want to make sure that it works even when you're fighting that one character, that it doesn't somehow gimp itself or something of that nature. But it's always good to test it out if you have it. If you guys know, if only time I don't test out stuff like that is if I don't have it, and I have to ask you guys to verify it for me. But I can verify this by myself. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy me doing these more often, because when a new artifact comes out, I always felt a little bit like, dang, I really wish that I could do a little video. But that means that this one, the guide video for her is gonna come out. And then after that, or one or the other, one's gonna come first. The side story, the So You Can Skip Part 2 will also come out as well. So hope you guys enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my birthday. It's like I have to actually make one more video for Nights Chronicles. Illusion video's already out. Wanted to show all love to the games that I put on this channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And remember, every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.